4 police stations lately. We have no vehicles, and there's encroachment in some of the police station government land. I've approached the ACC on this, and I request the minister to kindly look into this and supply us the 4 police vehicles that the IG had said he would send to us. Thank you, sir.
Number 8.
Mr. Speaker, swali langu ni juu ya utovu wa usalama Lamu. Kwa nini tumeng'ang'ana kwa karibu miaka 5 tunang'ang'ana tupate sub county ya Kiunga ward, hatupati, na tunajua kule sababu ya logistic challenges, geographical position yetu ya Lamu, kuna island na mainland, na kwa sababu ya utovu wa usalama tunafaa kupata sub county, lakini tumefuata sheria zote zinazotakikana, lakini hatupati sub county. Sijui ni kwa sababu vile, manake mimi speaker nimeshindwa, nimeng'ang'ana, nimetuma mabarua, nimeenda hizo ofisi paka nimechoka, siendi tena, nimeenda jukwaa la usalama, pahali popote waziri anapokuwa yuko mimi naenda kuuliza. Labda nyinyi speaker hapa na wenzangu munisaidie, manake mimi nimeshindwa, nimetafuta njia zote hawanipi. So labda jibu lije kwa speaker sasa, kwa sababu sitaki hata kwangu, manake wanaitikia vizuri kisha inaenda hivyo. Au ni kwa sababu wameweka chief ambaye analipwa karibu miaka 5 sahihi na haezi kukaa kwetu, kwa sababu chief wa sehemu nyingine amewekwa kwetu, ndio hamtaki kutupa sub county, na chief huyo haezi kukaa kwetu, na hatutakubali huyo chief aje akae kwetu. Hata ikibidi ni kufanya vipi, hatakaa, kwa sababu ile ni kwetu, hatuwezi kubali sehemu yetu iende sehemu zingine. Sijui sababu ni hiyo. Pia speaker, kule Lamu kuna curfew kwa miaka 15. Curfew tu siku zote, kila ikifika saa 12 jioni Lamu huwezi ingia wala kutoka. Huwezi ingia na ndege wala huwezi toka. Hata kukiwa na emergency usiku ni hatari. Ishatokea emergencies usiku, hakuna ndege inaweza ingia. Kweli security ni paramount, lakini hizo siku zote hakuna solution inapatikana mpaka sasa. Wakati wa COVID lockdown tu sehemu kidogo mlikuwa mnaona shida. Sisi tumekuwa na lockdown miaka 15, ni haki? Hata kwa Mwenyezi Mungu ni haki? Mna nia gani na Lamu? Na speaker, wale polisi wote ambao hawatakikani, utasikia hakuna hati sheria ya kupeleka punishment kule. Kwangu naweza kuletea listi kwako speaker, sipeleki listi huko. Nitakuletea mimi, niko na paka namba zao za kazi, nitakuletea wewe list. Watu polisi ambao paka president akienda kwangu anaekiwa polisi kama 2 wamchunge sija kaleta aibu. Wanakunywa tembo tu na kukaa, kwa sababu ni stress kwao, wamekaa zaidi ya miaka 7. Wako naweza kuletea list.
Sawa. Kemei number 9.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And my question goes to the CS concerning the security of teachers, and especially in Kericho County. Honorable Speaker, when the results were released, the KCSC, this particular school, Moisi Totwet, where parents, when the results were not good, the parents waited for the teachers outside the compound, and they threatened the teachers just because of the poor performance. Are here even in wherever. So the security of teachers is actually of concern. I want to add this, Honorable Speaker. Mimi ni mwalimu. Yes. Once a teacher, always a teacher. Now, and apart from that, Honorable Speaker, and Litain High School, there was this serious strike. And because of the strike, the teachers' property were banned. The school, of course, was banned. And up to now, nothing much has been done for the teachers. They are still traumatized. So I want to ask the CS, what plans does he have concerning the security of the teachers in schools, mainly the boarding schools?
you.
And Honorable Speaker, I'm also concerned about the village elders. Their security is also key. And last year, I came with a statement concerning the killing of one Joshua Mutai. And up to now, the culprit has not been found. The case went good like that, and nothing has happened. So, Honorable Speaker, I feel something should be done. And I believe the CS still remember that the President pronounced himself concerning the village elders that is giving a stipend of 3,000. That was from last month. That is January. I believe CS has some information concerning the same.
Number 10.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, where I come from, there is a game reserve called pt3 South Game Reserve, where insecurity is the order of the day. I would want to hear from the minister why can't we have Melissa Warip for pt3 South Game Reserve? I would also want to hear, Honorable Speaker, from the minister whether it is a government policy for the police to pursue people all the way to the church in terms of tear gassing. And if that is not a government policy, where are they getting that authority from? Because worship places are sacred. The last question, Honorable Speaker, relates to promotion and positing. Honorable Minister, some of your officers have been in the service for over 10 years, 15 years, and they have never been promoted once. Others have served in hardship areas for more than 10 years. They have never been transferred. How do you expect such officers to work for you effectively? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Minister, deal with those 10.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I hope in dealing also with some of this will preempt some of the concerns that people have, especially say, police station cars and administrative units, among others. First, let me start with the question of Majority Leader on drunk police officers. The Speaker, this question of alcohol abuse and addiction is not confined to just citizens. It's also the police officers. They are part of the society. And we have a good number of police officers who are addicted to alcohol. Mr. Speaker, some also abuse drugs, and that must be confessed. Even in my Jukwaa la Usalama forum, there was a particular police officer in Migori who came to the function drunk, Mr. Speaker. And of course, after I asked later his colleagues why they could not even dissuade him from coming to the meeting, knowing that he was drunk, they said that it was impossible. He's an OCS, and he's the one who is leading the police station. One of the biggest challenges, later when I now understood why we get security reports from Timaru and that part of Migori in the Kuria side, a lot of security challenges because the person in charge of the police station is drunk. And then, I was told half of the police officers within the police station were also abusing alcohol. So, Mr. Speaker, this issue must be dealt in two ways. One is that out of compassion, those who are addicted to alcohol are meant to be taken to rehabilitation centers. Now, what we agreed after our conversation in Jukwaa la Usalama was that the IG needs to develop a framework to ensure that no police officer will be deployed drunk. And that framework can only be enforced if the OCS is in charge. So you need to deal first with the 1,200 OCSs to grill them and vet them to ensure that they have that certain level of discipline and they are not addicted to alcohol. And that process is ongoing to start with. Then you need now to deal with the strength of the police. I went during Jukwaa to Bomet, for example, and there was a police station in Konoin where they were saying that everybody was drunk. And then, that reflects, that's a reflection of the security situation in that area. So the point is this: we have a problem of alcohol abuse, drunkenness, addiction within the police service. It must be dealt with, first of all, by taking those who are addicted for rehabilitation. But the second part is that you cannot be, everybody here, including ourselves, are trying to say we need to be compassionate and, help them, rehabilitate them. But Mr. Speaker, there must be an end to that. There must be a limit to it. If you are in disciplined forces, you must accept that we'll take you to a rehabilitation, give you your dues, and discharge you, so that it opens doors for other people to serve. Otherwise, if we say we rehabilitate and bring them back, maybe you are given only one chance, and then thereafter, you must be able to leave the police service. This is an issue that is a problem to all of us, as you know, as citizens of this country. Rehabilitation and addiction is an issue. So that process is ongoing. Sometimes some officers are still in office, basically only because there is no other officer to be transferred to that area. So it's also linked to their strength. And 10,000 police recruits will help us create a framework of balancing what's happening across the country. And on the question of Karatina particularly, that police officer was deployed, Karatina, Kitengela, and many other incidents where police officers have killed civilians or their own colleagues because they were drunk, is a failure by the OCS, because he's the one who is in charge of the police officer. So it's not enough that that man was arrested, he was charged, and the process is ongoing. It's also important that the OCS is held into account by his disciplinary standards in terms of managing his police officers in that area. So the message must go to all our OCSs, even from this statement here, that they will be held personally accountable if they are going to deploy officers who are known to have mental health challenges, or probably they are drunk, or they may have social problems. You know, I asked this simple question to many of the OCSs during Jukwa, that how do you end up deploying somebody whom you know that he has marital problems or family issues? He is telling you he wants a leave for 10 days to go, and you're saying it's not possible for you to go, and you're keeping him in the station. The next thing you hear from colleagues, they're saying, nitapita na OCS, ama nitapita na mtu kwa hii station. And it is taken lightly. Mental health issues must be taken seriously. The police officers we have now are young. Some of them are of a generation that they have no stamina to deal with mental health problems. And yet, those of us who are in positions of authority perhaps forget that the police officers are a reflection of the society. That is an ongoing issue. I am also thinking of perhaps having we have our report from Jukwa, but maybe issuing a policy directive, Mr. Speaker, on this particular issue of drunkenness and indiscipline, deploying officers who have no proper mental health to be able to deal with the issues. Again, we need to, after this recruitment that we did recently, we need to have a proposal from the IG's office or the National Police Service as to how many police officers will be recruiting annually. And then we put it in the annual budget so that we don't wait for 3-4 years to do recruitment, because then the acute shortage that is in place, some police officers are just there to show that there is a police officer, yet the word being used is that they are not serviceable, in the sense that they are not able to provide services to the people. I also agree with the other issue is, and I'll mention in my statement, and Majority Leader captured it, is the question of dealing with gangs, goons, and criminals that are used particularly for public functions. This has become a very difficult area for the police officers, because the owners of the gangs sit in this house, they sit in high offices, Mr. Speaker, they are in Senate, they are in National Assembly, some of them are in high political party offices. And the problem is that every time these people are arrested, the political leaders go and intimidate the police officers in the locality. They also visit our offices, visit the office of the IG, and demand that they be transferred. When you go down to find out why they are demanding a transfer of police officer, is only because that police officer is not playing to their tune in terms of gangs and goons. I have asked the IG, and I've told the IG that you have protection of my office. No one should be able to intimidate police officers. Police officers must do their job. They must do it independently and impartially. We must be able to deal with gangs. In this invasion of Parliament of June 24th, was it 25th? 25th. I think 24th and 25th, because the protests were 2 days. And the invasion of this house, I expected, Mr. Speaker, that members of parliament unanimously will support the process of enforcing and arresting these criminals and gangs, including their financiers. Mr. Speaker, we found statements from a section of the political leaders in this House that, Mr. Speaker, are aiding and abetting and supporting people who are invading such public institutions. Let me just sound this warning that it will not stop at the parliament. They will come to your CDF offices, and you have no monopoly of gangs. Some gangs are yours, some other gangs are also being recruited by your opponent. If the police officers were to look the other side and allow these gangs to continue operating, none of us, no politician, no member of parliament, whether you are in opposition or in government, can be able to function. Remember that you are of a particular class of people who are considered to have some resources. And the day these gangs are going to unite to come for you, they will not care which side of the political divide you are in. It is important that all of us deal with this systemic issue of gangs because it's mutating. It starts with political bouncers, it goes to political goons, and then it moves to gangs because these people are being maintained using resources. And the same way we have bandits in other parts of the country, these are urban bandits, that are actually terrorizing citizens. And Mr. Speaker, every time a crackdown is done, the same way you've seen in some parts of Nairobi, we see that political leaders are supporting them. The judiciary is not even doing better. A situation happens like the one that Parliament was invaded. We are investigating some members of Parliament, political leaders, their sponsors, and then they go and get anticipatory bail, Mr. Speaker, that they cannot be charged. And then, it's okay to say and to get anticipatory bail that you cannot be arrested, but you can't give someone anticipatory bail that he cannot be charged. Because if the evidence is existing, that person should be charged. Let the courts weigh the evidence, Mr. Speaker, and determine whether or not that evidence meets the threshold to convict the person. But you cannot deny the National Criminal Enforcement System an opportunity to present that person before court. And the reason why this disease of gangs and goons is persisting, Mr. Speaker, is because they have their own collaborators in the judiciary. And some magistrates are already on standby, Mr. Speaker, to release people who have banned courts, attempted to ban parliament, banned police stations, Mr. Speaker, steal guns, and banned even public facilities, including schools, people's shops, people's markets. So, Speaker, when we said we are going to charge people for terror, we meant it because the Constitution the Anti-Terrorism Act is very clear that if you are carrying out activities that are meant to scare people, wide-scale in nature, including burning of houses, including stealing guns, including, Mr. Speaker, scaring a section of population, you are supposed to be charged for terrorism. People think that terrorism is just because of cross-border or an enemy coming from elsewhere. A terrorist can be sitting in such a very beautiful chamber, Mr. Speaker, and perpetuating certain acts. Why we must be rough on the question of gangs is that it is no longer confined to Nairobi. In the old days, we used to have Jeshi la Mzee and some other characters, Nairobi, Kisumu. But now villages have gangs. Mr. Speaker, in Kitale, for example, in Saboti constituency, I'm forgetting, we have this gang in, they're called Kapenguria 6, who are operating around Kitale and invading people's farms and all that. We have another gang that is 47 brothers, 42 brothers, operating generally around Western, including in Butere. Mr. Speaker, we went very hard on the Butere gang, and you can see the stealing of the cows and invading people's farms has gone down. But Mr. Speaker, they just go down kidogo and then they come up because they get the incentive from political leaders who are paying them. So, Mr. Speaker, if I was to speak freely here, facing all of you here, I would mention names of people here who have gangs. Yeah, Mr. Speaker. And because, Mr. Speaker, because Mr. Speaker, no, that's okay. Because Mr. Speaker, these are intelligence reports that we have. I would rather allow the DCI to continue the investigation to get the proper evidence that can test can stand the test of prosecution before the court of law. Mr. Speaker, if we come for you around these gangs, please don't think that we are doing it because of political reasons. We're just doing it to save you.